What's up, guys? My name is MadSquash924. Welcome back to another episode of Assassin's Creed 3 Part 11. We're playing as Desmond. I actually kind of forgot that we were here when we loaded this up, and I was like, oh yeah, we're not Connor. Not yet. For now, we're gonna play as Desmond Miles, because he's got his own little missions that he's got to do. Which is fine. I just prefer playing as Connor. But, regardless, it's fine. Place is freaking dark. You know, for you guys, this is actually probably normal, because this whole Let's Play has been, unfortunately, really bright for some reason, because due to the weird HDR settings that I have tried to mess with, but it just doesn't work. And that's only because of the remastered edition it does that, which is kind of annoying. I thought about Let's Playing this for the 360 edition, just because of that reason. But I decided against it.
Seriously, Sean? Fuck you.
Well, maybe you should be more careful, don't you think, Desmond? At least I think so. Guess we're going up here. New game I would like to Let's Play, but it's not on Xbox, because as you guys know, we do Let's Plays for the Xbox. Would be Uncharted. This kind of reminds me a little bit of that. Just what we're doing, what everything looks like. It would be a cool thing to do. It'd be cool if they ported it to Xbox as well. I have played it before, but PlayStation, unfortunately, is kind of weird about what and what you cannot Let's Play. Which I don't like. That's why we don't do games from the PlayStation on this channel. Otherwise, I'd be down for it. But I digress. We're playing Assassin's Creed, we're not playing Uncharted.
Jesus.
Look on the bright side. No security to worry about.
True.
And on the not so bright side, the slightest misstep means you're effectively paced.
Shut up, Sean.
I don't know, I think that was kind of helpful. Nobody will recognize you if you turn into paste. Yeah. Right? Don't know exactly where we're going from here. This way? And then up? Yeah. Do we go up here? No. I think we keep going this way. Oh, I see. I gotta say, this is kind of a weird bit for this game, because you're so used to playing either as, like, Altair, Desmond, well, not Desmond, but Altair, Ezio, or Connor, even Hatham. And then you come to play as, Desmond. And you kind of forget that you're like, oh yeah, this game is technically about him. Throughout, like, this whole series, up until this game. And then it becomes about somebody else. Did we just go in a fucking circle? If we didn't, it definitely feels like it. We definitely did. Okay, then... Oh, we're supposed to go up there. Damn, I'm stupid sometimes. We just went in a big circle. It was a little bit unclear, to be fair. This game is dark, but maybe it's looks normal for you guys finally. There we go. Stand up.
Almost there, Desmond. Once you reach the top of the lit-up crane, you should be high enough to make the jump.
Should?
It'll be fine, don't worry.
Well, you might want to worry a little. I'm pretty sure she
Nah.
was lying when she was running the numbers.
Sean!
A joke. It was a joke. Or was it?
Or was it? To be fair, I like that they're all shitting on Sean for being pessimistic, but I think it's hilarious. Okay, so up here, huh? Should be easy.
Jump when you're ready, but wait for my signal to open the chute. Timing's really important here. Too soon or too late, and you'll miss the building.
Sure. Do we jump now? Are you gonna tell us when, Rebecca, or am I just gonna sit here like Spider-Man the whole time?
Now,
I'll just go.
open your chute now.
You know how unfortunate it would have been if he just died right there? And it would have just been the end of Desmond Miles. Don't see anybody near the helicopter pad. Not yet, anyway. You know, I thought you could just like
wasn't so bad.
raise it
So-
and then get it.
You must be Desmond.
Who are
Not
you?
exactly what I expected. But I guess your kind doesn't have many options these days.
Who are you?
Ask your
Exactly.
father. Now give me that.
I don't think so.
Look. I'm not supposed to kill you. But the boss man didn't say anything about fucking you up. So you got to the counter. Oh.
Well, thanks for making it easy on me, Daniel.
So who the hell is Daniel Cross?
Believe it or not, he used to be an assassin. The assassin, the way I've heard it told, but it turned out he was a sleeper agent for Abstergo, programmed to infiltrate and destroy the organization.
How did he know you were there? We could be compromised.
They must have caught me snooping inside their network and sent Cross to see what we were after. If they were aware of our current location, we'd know. Though, I will say this. Doesn't bode very well for future expeditions.
No,
I've
not
set up
really.
some cameras topside. If anyone shows up, we'll see it.
I'd suggest you go see about finding a socket for that power source. Or we can return to Connor if you prefer. All the artifacts in the world won't mean a thing without the key.
Okay, so we gotta find a place to socket this thing in, or return as Connor. I guess we should try to figure out where to put this damn thing, huh? Where? Fuck me if I should know.
Ah, Desmond, there you are. Can I ask a favor?
Maybe.
When this is all over, I'd like to try turning the dial back on the Animus. Like, all the way back. To the time of the first civilization.
You think it would work?
There was no real loss of fidelity when you visited Altair. Then again, that was about 1,000 years ago, and I'm looking at going back at least 70,000 more.
Sure, I'd be up for it. Be interesting to see what things were like back then.
Excellent. I think it would prove most enlightening.
It would.
So this is how it started.
What are you up to?
Just brushing up on my American history. No, I say history. They certainly teach you strange things in the States.
Like what?
Well, for all the talk of this being a revolutionary war, it was a civil one. Well, not that kind of civil. I mean, there was no America versus Britain. It was Brit on Brit action. And you can clearly see how the whole thing got started. One war gave birth to the other.
You mean the 7 Years' War?
Exactly. Seems the Crown overspent in its attempt to keep the French out, wound up with a great deal of debt. Believing that the colonists should help to shoulder the burden, new taxes were created. It was a reasonable request, even if Parliament was rather, well, undiplomatic about it.
Well, it's not really fair to tax people for a war they didn't want any part of.
What? Didn't want any part of? Did you not notice George Washington with Edward Braddock? He was right there in the middle of it. So here you have the Crown spending who knows how much money to secure a place for the colonists to thrive, and then, when they ask for a little bit of help... Right, look, think of it this way. King George and the colonists, they all go out to dinner, right? And when the bill comes, George asks for them to kick in and pay their share. Fair enough. But keep in mind, he's been taking them out to dinner, gratis, for decades now. But the colonists, oh no, they insist they only had a glass of water and a side salad. Never mind the table's full of half-eaten food and empty bottles of wine. Now, when the king points this out, what do the colonists do? Oh, they flip the table over and they storm out the restaurant. Probably intending to return later and burn it down.
You left out the part where the king pointed a gun at the colonists and asked them to cover dinner for everyone in the restaurant.
Right, yeah, interesting take. If he pulled out a gun, and I'm not sure he did, it would only have been after the 100th failed attempt at getting them to pay their fair share.
But how do you define someone's fair share?
Oh, well, with a war, apparently.
That's a pretty interesting take on it.
How many other places like this exist?
There are dozens of them, all over the world.
And somehow no one's ever found one before us.
I don't think that's true.
Oh?
When I was at Abstergo, Vidic talked about silencing discoveries made by non-Templars. And I'm sure Abstergo has dug up plenty.
The things they must know.
Regretting throwing in with us?
No. Just looking forward to when we can finally trounce those bastards so I can dive into their archives. Oh, I think I found a lead on another power source.
Okay, where is that?
Desmond, I'm in the middle of something very important right now. Just, that's a rule. Just follow that as a rule.
You got it, Sean. Let's speak to everybody else. It looks like we stacked up on a lot of conversational stuff.
Son, I owe you an apology. I shouldn't have lashed out like that. You have to understand, I've never been very good at this. Never mind that we live rather extraordinary lives.
Yeah, I kinda liked my ordinary one.
You can't escape who you are, Desmond.
So I've noticed.
Look, it's silly for us to go back and forth like this. I admit, I did a shitty job raising you. I apologize, I'm sorry. But it's important you understand it didn't come from a bad place. You're my son. I love you. I guess I was so busy trying to make sure nothing bad happened, I didn't consider the consequences. Truce.
I can't believe it's taken me so long to ask, but... how's Mom? She's not...
No. Your mother is fine. We decided it was safer if we split up for this job.
Always assuming the worst.
For good reason.
Can I at least say hi to her?
I'm sorry, it's too risky. Maybe when we're done.
Right. When we're done.
Nothing else to say?
Have we ever tried to make peace with the Templars?
Throughout our history, there have been moments. Several, in fact. But it's impossible. There are existential differences, insurmountable. If there were to be unity, it wouldn't be a truce so much as a submission.
But knowing what's about to happen, wouldn't it make sense to try and talk to Vidic? Come to an arrangement, even if it's only temporary?
We'd all be so busy watching our backs, nothing would get accomplished. Imagine that. We're more productive at war.
Well, have we ever tried sending in someone? Doing to them what they did to us with Lucy? Or Cross?
We have, and it's never worked. We've sent people who were either too weak and found themselves turned, or too strong and were unable to carry out the charade.
I just feel like we all want the same thing.
We use the same words, but that's all they are, words. In the end, it all comes down to freedom. We seek it, they detest it. And so there's never an end to the fight. Not until one side is completely gone.
Is that even possible?
Probably not. Our two groups have existed in one form or another since, well, since forever. But things can be better than they are. And that's something.
Did you look for me, Dad? When I was gone?
Every day.
Come on.
I mean it. Every night I'd look, searching for your name or variations of it, hoping you'd slip up. Abstergo only found you first because they had better access. A few more days and it would have been me.
Well, I'm here now.
And I'm glad.
Do you think Lucy regretted what she was doing?
I used to think I knew her well, but clearly that wasn't the case. So I really can't give you an honest answer.
She seemed so sincere, though. Like she really wanted to make a difference.
Yes, well, when I first met him, I thought the same thing about Cross.
It just keeps happening over and over again.
What does?
Everything.
Don't get weird on me, Desmond.
No, it's fine. I'm fine. Don't worry.
All right, then. You should think about getting back in the Animus. We've got to find that key. We should probably get back to Connor.
Okay, so he has nothing else to say. Let's go this way for a second. I think this is where we put our little artifact in? I'm not sure. And then we'll talk to Rebecca. No? Maybe not. Not entirely sure where we put the thing. It's kind of unclear. It's not like it tells you or anything. You just kind of have to find it yourself. And I'm just kind of making assumptions in where it could be.
If we could not meet the sun's cruel embrace, perhaps we might rebuke it. Already we could generate the fields to protect us in times of strife. But these were small and simple things. To replicate them on a scale the size of a world. We lack the energy to make it so. Half the world, they said then. It is better than none at all. We tried. Again, we failed. A quarter, they asked. Even this we could not do. A sixth, an eighth, a tenth, they cried. The answer was still the same. Perhaps in time a city might be spared. But it was time we did not have. So we moved on.
So, is the thing we're supposed to do over here then?
Wonder what's inside?
Yep.
Only one way to find out.
Oh, that's one piece. There's our new entrance. Whoa. Is there a way to safely get down? Okay, so she's up there now, so I'm guessing that's where we put the next artifact when we acquire it. Let's head up there. Good job, Connor. You're such a hero. I thought you were dead, to be honest.
What is a fact? Is it fixed? Immutable? Certain in its existence and only awaiting discovery? Or might it be changed? Here we learned the answer and thought that it might save us. They were used to command, to control, to own. But we soon discovered another use. When enough sat in thrall and were told to believe, their thoughts took on form. What was imagined became real. 100 minds could wish away a wall or create a tree, what might 1,000 do? 10,000? More? Might we change the consensus and will the threat away? We resolved to send one into the sky where it might illuminate us all. Once placed, a sentence would be uttered. Make us safe. In this way, we would change the consensus. We would save the world. But it never came to be. We sent a dozen of them skyward, but there was no way to maintain control, to direct the beam, to enthrall the world, to speak the words. Though this was strange and dangerous, what we tried next was worse.
I do not think we have the next artifact. If we do, I don't remember picking it up. So I'll go up here anyway. We'll see. And she has so much to say, doesn't she?
Our first instinct was to travel back, to change the past. But we could not find a way. But forward. We could look forward. And so here we sought to see beyond ourselves and know what was to come. First, we watched to learn if our work would succeed. But the answer was always the same. So we moved on to other things. But she remained. The one you call Minerva. In time, she too stopped looking, and instead began to speak. She called out across time, in the hopes that you might be saved. She hid messages where none might find them, save for you and those within this place.
Fascinating.
Tired of it. The cryptic warnings, the threats. Just tell us what you want!
But they are. We saw the Nephilim there. We seemed like grasshoppers in our own eyes, and we looked the same to them. Imagine trying to explain all this to a 2-year-old, to a grasshopper. When they said the will of the gods was unknowable, they meant it. Literally.
I killed her, you know. I killed Lucy.
It was the apple, son. It was Juno.
I saw what she was. What would happen if I let her live? I could have stopped myself. I mean, there was a force there. But I didn't have to. I chose to.
Desmond.
Lucy was going to betray us and take the apple back to Abstergo. I saw the satellite launched. I saw them turn it on, and then it failed. Whatever's on the other side of that door, it benefits Juno. We need to be careful.
True. We would need to be careful. Okay, she's over there now. I think this is the wrong way, but whatever. Getting kind of lost. This way? Maybe. My only clue is where Juno is. There it is. Okay, so we definitely do not have the artifact. I couldn't remember. Whatever. Let's talk to Rebecca and then get back in the Animus. This whole episode's been Animus-less. Kind of crazy.
I know everyone thinks I'm being silly, but I can't shake the feeling we're being watched.
We are being watched. By Juno. Or some version of her.
Do you think it's a recording? Or is she a ghost? Or something else? Is she talking to us the way Minerva talked to Ezio?
No clue. I mean, who knows what else they were working on down here? There's still so many rooms we don't have access to.
But do you think she's like literally down here, waiting somewhere, still alive?
Who knows?
That's mental. That means she'd be at least 75, 80,000 years old? No, powerful, yeah, but not that powerful.
They came down here looking for a way to survive. Maybe they found one.
Maybe. I think there's the computer here with a bunch of emails on it as well. Here it is. Is there a way to make it so... There we go. Just making sure they were all, like, quote-unquote red.
Was it weird seeing Cross?
What do you mean?
It's different for you. You don't know about what happened, I guess. For a long time, he was important to us. He was a different person.
Sean said he was a sleeper agent. Like Lucy.
It was different. She made a choice, but Cross, if you read the files, Abstergo just... They did terrible things to him.
Rebecca?
You're lucky. We all are. We have people who care about us, who look out for us. He was all alone, and the people he thought he could trust, they used him.
Did you know him?
No, but I knew Hannah.
Who's that?
She tried to help him. She trusted him. But there was a raid about a year ago. She stayed behind so the others could escape. Tried to reason with him to see if she could fix things.
Well, what happened?
What do you think happened? He killed her. That's what he does. That's all he knows how to do. Sometimes it seems like that's all any of us know how to do.
Rebecca.
I just want to be alone right now. I just want to be alone right now.
Okay. Let's get back in the Animus.
Good luck, Desmond.
These are troubled times. The already uneasy alliance between the Crown and its subjects frays. And behind them both the Templars plot, pulling strings and moving pieces. History dictates they seek order through control. But how will they affect it here?
Sequence 6. Davenport Homestead, 1773.
What conspiracies have they already
Connor!
spun? All these
Spare a
things I
moment.
must determine. Of course, for only by
Have a
knowing my
look.
enemy can I hope to stop them. What is it?
Xingbao, or rope dart if you prefer. One of the many plans given to us by Xiao Yun to...
Sorry.
We'll have to work on this.
Ganondogo,
Yes, my friend.
what brings you here? Is the village all right?
For now,
What do you mean? What has happened?
men came, claiming we had to leave. They said that the land was being sold, and that the Confederacy had consented. We sent an envoy, but they would not listen.
You must refuse!
We cannot oppose the Sachem, but you're right as well. We cannot give up our home.
Do you have a name? Do you know who is responsible?
He is called William Johnson,
Where is Johnson now?
in Boston, making preparations for the sale.
Sale! This is theft!
Connor, take care. These men are powerful.
What would you have me do? I made a promise to my people.
If you insist upon this course of action, seek out Sam Adams in Boston. He'll be able to help. What have you done?
When my people go to war, a hatchet is buried into a post to signify its start. When the threat is ended, the hatchet is removed.
You could have used a tree.
Okay. So let's see here. Let's go in our house real quick. Captain Kidd's treasure. Meet with... Interesting. I imagine that's some side story stuff or DLC stuff maybe. Let's go inside. There's also more naval missions if we choose to accept them. If we press start, is there a way to do anything in here? No. Pretty cool though. Everything looks a little bit more ship shape. Accounting book. Let's take a look at this real quick. Crafting, trading. Yeah. Guess we'll get some charcoal. Get some of these. Get all these. Yeah. And then... we could also sell them? I don't like this whole screen. I can only trade, I can only stockpile left. So say I do this. And you barely make any actual profit. It sucks. Don't know why this just isn't always open. It should be. And what do we have here? So we actually have a lot of stuff we could do from where it looks like. Cool. Yeah, we can wear a lot of different outfits if we chose to. But I think for at least a little bit, we'll wear the normal clothes. What's this? See out all outfits? Yeah. A lot of these are locked, unfortunately. But of course, we can wear a lot of the others if we chose. The only downside is if I wanted to wear a lot of these, I would have to come back to where we are now, which I don't love. But I will periodically change our clothes throughout this Let's Play. For today and the next episode, we'll wear what Connor's currently wearing. And I kind of think this is a good spot for us to end today's episode of Assassin's Creed 3. I hope you guys all enjoyed. If you guys have, make sure you guys leave a like, leave a comment. Tell me what you think of today's episode, of course. And if you're new to my channel or have been watching me for a little while and you haven't done so, feel free to subscribe to me, MadSquash924, and do not forget to ring the bell to get notified of my latest videos. On the next episode, we're either going to be doing some of these golden missions, I guess you want to call them, like Peg Leg, or there's a homestead mission. I might try some of these homestead missions off camera, maybe. I don't know. Well, I'll just see, for example, right here, as we're doing our outro. Just to see what this entails. Encyclopedia of a Common Man. What does it entail? We're not going to start it. I don't know if it's like worth doing.
It has occurred to me that the times
as a Let's Play or not
will be looked upon by future generations with a certain degree of scrutiny, no matter the outcome. With that in mind, I think it valuable to record the goings-on around the homestead. A true log of how people lived during this time of transition. Something to help color the portrait. What do you think?
When I find a moment, I will try.
Very good.
So these just random ass side things. So hold left trigger to analyze inhabitants and add information on them to the encyclopedia of the common man. Okay, so yeah, a lot of those things we probably won't do on camera. If I happen to see them, we'll do them as we will. But other than that, who cares? Anyway, I'll see you guys all next time. Goodbye.